What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you, your friends, and your family. Today, I want to talk about how much money the Super Bowl makes, but in ounces of silver. But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. The link will be in the description, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And if you want to help support the channel by getting some DYDSS merchandise, of course we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products, and many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. But today, I want to do something a little bit different, because today, as I am filming this video, as I am posting this video, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Now, I'm not personally a fan of either team, so maybe we'll talk about who I think will win during my live stream tonight around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Turn your bell notifications on so you don't miss it. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I pulled up an article from thestreet.com. I will link it in the description in case you guys want to read all of the little itty-bitty details. But I took a couple little pieces of information from the article. I did a little bit of math, and I'm a bit of a numbers guy, and I found out some really interesting information. So, in regards to the Super Bowl, I want to talk about how much money they are generating, and I'm just using arbitrary stadiums because it doesn't really matter if we're talking about this year's game or last year's game or next year's game. I'm using a stadium, one that they mentioned in the article, that holds 65,000 people. Now, the ticket prices range from $1,000 to $5,000, and that's not really even including the extremely expensive packs. So we're just going to do basic bare minimum here, $1,000. We're just going to keep it low. $1,000 multiplied by 65,000 people, $65 million raked in just from the bare minimum ticket sales. Now, how many ounces of silver is that, you might be wondering? Well, let me tell you, 3.2 million ounces of silver just from the bare minimum ticket sales. 3.2 million ounces of silver. None of us will ever in our lives see that much silver. So moving away from ticket sales, let's also talk about the food. I went to a football game this year. I didn't pay for it. I got to go for free. But just out of curiosity, I asked how much a small hot chocolate was. They told me $25. So also, according to the article, the average person spends roughly $88 on food throughout the course of the game. Keep in mind, it's hours and hours and hours long. Everyone's drinking, everyone's eating. All of that adds up. People probably don't even realize it, but according to the article, the average person at a Super Bowl game, $88 in food. So if we take those $88 and multiply that by the 65,000 people who are attending the game, you get $5.7 million just from food sales. Now you might be wondering, how many ounces of silver is that? It's over 286,000 ounces of silver. Now let's also talk about the fact that each 30-second commercial or advertisement played throughout the game is roughly $5.6 million, or at least that's what Fox claims to have paid per commercial. So for every 30 seconds, the ad revenue generates $5.6 million. That's 280,000 ounces of silver for every 30-second commercial that plays. Now keep in mind, we're not even taking into account how much money the entire city gets to make because of all the hotels, all of the restaurants, all of the bars, all of the Targets, the Walmarts, everything that's around all the Subways, the pizzerias, all of that. We're not even taking that into account. But if we add up the amount of silver generated from ticket sales, the amount of silver generated from each 30-second commercial, the amount of silver generated from food consumption, that's 3,766,000 ounces of silver. 3.7 million ounces of silver just from those couple things that I listed. That's not even everything. Now, apparently, according to the article, in 2019, the grand total amount of advertising and commercial revenue that the Super Bowl raked in was $336 million, which equates to 16.8 million ounces of silver just from ad revenue. Can you imagine if a YouTube advertisement was able to make even a % of that? My God, I'd never have to work again. But also, I also want to mention, according to the article, that this was stated by the National Retail Federation. They estimate that the Super Bowl is going to generate a grand total of $17.2 billion. That's billion with a B. $17.2 billion in grand total. Maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less, but they're estimating $17.2 billion. That is not pocket change. And if you want to know what that equates to in terms of silver, 860 million ounces of silver. And for any of you gold stackers out there, that's almost 11.5 million ounces of gold. Can you imagine that? 860 million ounces of silver or 11.5 million ounces of gold. This is not pocket change. This is not spare loose change. This is not disposable income. This is some real deal money. Now, a lot of people I know have the opinion that how dare the Super Bowl make that much money? Well, here's the answer. Supply and demand. People want to see the game. People pay for the food. People pay for the tickets. People pay for the parking. People pay for the hotel. People pay for the bars. People pay for the restaurants. People are paying for this. There's a reason it rakes in this much money. People happily pay. People happily throw their dollars. Supply and demand, that's just the way the world works. And I just thought it would be kind of interesting to break it down. I've done this before. I've made videos breaking down how much money this makes or how much money that makes and translating that into ounces of silver rather than the number of dollars. And this is the first time I'm doing it for a Super Bowl. So I just thought it was pretty interesting. If you guys thought that this was a pretty cool concept for a video, let me know in the comment section down below. What would you do with 860 million ounces of silver? My God, I don't even have 1% of 1% of that. That is some real deal money. They know what they are doing. That is one of the most successful businesses out there, if you ask me. So if you guys want to read the article, I will link it in the description. And also a friendly little reminder, I will be doing my online Super Bowl party tonight around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about a variety of different things. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on these numbers? This amount of silver, this amount of gold, from that many dollars. Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe for new videos every single day, 365 days a year. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. The link will be in the description. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers over there, so help us out. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, but we have a ton of other products as well. T-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, and a lot of which are actually being sold to help raise funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And once again, please head on down to the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on these numbers? These are some intimidating numbers. This much money we're talking about here, $17.2 billion or 860 million ounces of silver, or almost 11.5 million ounces of gold. This is some serious money we're talking about here. So I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, what do you think? Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.